The following is a presentation of The Day.
Thanks for joining us. This is Live Lunch Break. My name is Rick Coster, and we are streaming at you from theday.com, the official Day website. As always, we are in the New London's Telegraph Record Store, hosted perpetually by, well, today Rich is hungover. Can I say that, Rich Martin? In the New London food stroll last night, and all of us were out prowling the streets like nocturnal beasts, eating food and that sort of thing. Anyway, we made it today, and if we could make it, then so could this trio from Marlboro. They got up at 6 this morning. That's early to drive all the way to New London. But this is Jeff, Mark, and Carolyn at Seat of Our Pants. CD's out. Just a matter of hours. It's just out.
Fresh hot.
Fresh hot soup. The spelling is not actually what you'd see in the dictionary, but it's a pun on Seat of Our Pants. I deduced that without them telling me. This is some very fine acoustic, folk, bluegrassy, even sort of blues original music, and we're looking forward to having them in the studio with us. So enjoy. This is Seat of Our Pants.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, I had many friends and I had many lovers, but none that could stay in tune. Well, the fuel ran out, all the motor just died at the light of the silver moon. And then you came into my life with your shiny hubcaps and you swept me off of my feet. And now I'm trading in the old one for a brand new model, want a taste of luxury. 'Cause you're my Cadillac, Cadillac, and I love your cruise control. You're my Cadillac, Cadillac, and I love your shiny chrome. You're my Cadillac, Cadillac, I wanna ride you all night long. You're my Cadillac. Well, your white wall tires make me grind my gears. I got real hot wheels for you. And your extra options don't change your sticker price, 'cause you're a Cadillac through and through. I'd like to take a test drive, but baby, what's the use? I'm already sold on you. So honey, get behind the wheel and give me just one taste of what your fuel injection can do. 'Cause you're my Cadillac, Cadillac, and I love your cruise control. You're my Cadillac, Cadillac, and I love your shiny chrome. You're my Cadillac, Cadillac, I wanna ride you all night long. You're my Cadillac. Well, the road up ahead looks fine, you said, and that's alright by me. No hairpin turns to slow us down as far as the eye can see. So let's drive off into the sunset, don't look back. We'll lead a life of luxury, and we'll cruise down Cadillac Boulevard, where we'll forever after happily. 'Cause you're my Cadillac, Cadillac, and I love your cruise control. You're my Cadillac, Cadillac, and I love your shiny chrome. You're my Cadillac, Cadillac, I wanna ride you all night long. You're my Cadillac. Thanks.
Thank you.
That's a song I wrote in my early 20s with a friend of mine. I was in an all-girl band. And my friend Debbie started that song and couldn't finish it, so I helped her. It's called You're My Cadillac. The next song we're going to do is a song I wrote about a gentleman that hosted the open mic at the coffee house that we got our start at in East Hampton, Connecticut, Higher Grounds. Robert was a very special man, and he really inspired us 3 years ago when we started there, and he has a lot to do with why we're here today. It's called The Muse in the Gold Lame Suit. And the chorus, I should mention, the chorus is, there's a sax player giggles and a dog with no skin. And I always feel I need to explain that. One of the other musicians that would play there wrote a song, Corky the Skinless Dog? Corky the Skinless Dog. So Giggles is Giggle Juice, the band that plays there regularly. So I just thought I should mention that so people don't think we're torturing animals.
Torturing animals.
Capo 1. And I should say Bob passed away a couple years ago, so I wrote this in his memory. In a quaint little village, in a tiny cafe, every Friday round 7 we all come to play. We sing and we strum and read poetry too, with Robert there rooting for you. There's a sax player, giggles, and a dog with no skin. No matter the talent, Bob welcomes you in. And just for a moment you feel like a star. Robert makes you believe that you are. With a song and some jokes, Robert opened the show. But after a year he decided to go, with some demons to wrestle and a life filled with pain. We hoped that we'd see him again. There's a sax player, giggles, and a dog with no skin. No matter the talent, Bob welcomes you in. And just for a moment you feel like a star. Robert makes you believe that you are. Our lives have been changed, and it's all 'cause of you. The man in the gold lame suit was our muse. The cafe is quiet, but we'll be back again to sing a few songs for our friend. There's a sax player, giggles, and a dog with no skin. No matter the talent, Bob welcomes you in. And just for a moment you feel like a star. Robert makes you believe that you are. So I sing to you now like I did months ago, remembering that look in your eye, don't you know? And just for this moment I feel like a star. Okay, quick change. Somebody talk. This next song,
Song about Caroline's grandfather.
my grandfather Rocco.
Talking for you.
Thanks. He came to this country as a young man from Italy with his mandolin in hand. This is not his. And he, being Italian, of course, he played lots of what I called spaghetti music. I can say that because I'm Italian. But he landed in, ended up in West Virginia working in a coal mine. And I'm thinking, now no one ever told me this, but I'm thinking, mandolin player in West Virginia, he had to have been recruited into a bluegrass band. So this is my story of what happened when he got there. Ready? It's called Grandpa Rocco Played the Mandolin. Rocco played the mandolin. He came to this country around 1910. New York, Chicago, Montana, and then down to West Virginia, coal mining man. Then one night in the month of June, neath the moonlit sky, he played a tune that he used to play. It made the ladies swoon, and he dreamed of home sweet home. wasn't long. Word got around to the bluegrass band at that mine in town. This young man's picking was just a found they've been searching for so long. Hey young man, we like the way that mandolin you sure can play. We're hoping you would spend a day picking bluegrass tunes with us. Bravo, bravo, Rocco Chid, I think I'm gonna like it here. This music fills my heart with joy. I guess I'm just a bluegrass boy. Oh, Grandpa was a bluegrass picker, playing old-time music on his mandolin with a guitar, banjo, and a violin. My grandpa was a bluegrass picker, the music of his brand new country home. Oh, Grandpa, he was a bluegrass picker, playing old-time tunes on his mandolin with a guitar, banjo, and a violin. My grandpa Rocco was a bluegrass picker, digging all day just to make a dollar, digging all night in the mountain holler, music of his brand new country home.
This next song is one that I wrote, and I wrote it. I'm a psychotherapist, psychologist in my day job, and this is a song I wrote about a client of mine whose story touched me very deeply, and she's a gal who had a lot of abuses in her childhood, and so we were working through that in therapy, and partly what I needed to do was kind of engage this very separated little girl part of her that remembered everything and held all the memories. And of course, she expected that I, like everyone else, was going to hurt her or let her down or deceive her. So it's kind of a process of building trust, and just been so moved by her courage and her story and her, determination to get better. So I wrote this song about her. It's called Nancy. She sits in the corner alone on the floor, legs out like a raggedy hen. The doorstop she places to keep out the faces that came for her just as they planned. And the big ones care for the little ones. Don't the big ones care for the little ones? I ask how you doing with no way of knowing. She says fine, wondering if that was right. She looks at me blankly to see if I'm different or if I'll deceive her tonight. And the big ones care for the little ones. Don't the big ones care for the little ones? Don't the big ones care at all? sits in the corner alone on the floor, legs out like a raggedy hen. She's starting to trust me, and that's how it must be to undo the things that they'd planned. And the big ones care for the little ones. Yes, the big ones care for the little ones. Now the big ones care. Thank you.
I'm going to do one more for commercial break. And this is a song.
We switched this, right?
We switched this. Yeah, we didn't write this one, but a band that plays at the same coffee house that we play at, Giggle Juice, wrote this song, and they do it very differently from us, but we just like the song so much. We kind of, what?
Just checking.
Giggle too. I am like Giggle too.
Yep.
He's my husband. He can do that. So we just kind of took it and had fun with it. It's called Draw Me In.
1, 2, 3. So I'm always falling down and getting up again. I got lost long ago, but I'm not certain when. The sky was much brighter, the clouds were all shiny, the stars were aligned, and I saw the silver lining on this road. 'Cause you draw me in, you draw me in, you draw me in again. Well, I've known you for some time now, you're under my skin, and never know what to say or where to begin. I'm always walking around with a picture in my head, and all I really want to do is get you into bed for a while. 'Cause you draw me in, you draw me in, you draw me in again. So now I need something to get my mind off of you. I know it sounds crazy, but it's everything you do. It could have been something in another time and place. I know I must be dreaming when I see your smiling face all night long. 'Cause you draw me in, you draw me in, you draw me in again. So I'm always falling down and getting up again. I got lost long ago, but I'm not certain when. The sky was much brighter, the clouds were all shiny, the stars were aligned, and I saw the silver lining on this road. 'Cause you draw me in, you draw me in, you draw me in again. You draw me in, you draw me in, you draw me in again. Thank you. Giggle Juice.
Giggle Juice. We're gonna
This is Live Lunch Break. I'm Rick Coster of theday.com. I am in New London's Telegraph record store with our hosts Alec and Rich today. And we have with us from Marlborough a very fine acoustic group called Seat of Our Pants. And I am always interested, guys. And by the way, this is Jeff and Carolyn, and that's Mark over there. I'm always interested, if you see most musicians, it was this way with me, you start young because of the imprinting of what your friends are listening to or what you are. So it's pretty obvious at a young age what you're going to play, the stuff you like. I like when you get older, I'm always interested to ask folks, how has your songwriting and what you listen to and want to play changed, and what caused it? Have you always played this sort of music or listened to it? Because I know that Mark alluded earlier to he grew up sort of listening to progressive rock. But Carolyn, what about you?
I have a confession to make.
All right.
I was a John Denver fan growing up. I loved acoustic music. Probably shouldn't apologize for that. He was
No.
wonderful.
I'm going to interrupt you. I don't think we should ever apologize for anything we
Good
like.
point. Good
Okay,
point. I
go
love
ahead.
John Denver.
All right.
Dan Fogelberg, James
Sure.
Taylor. I had visions when I was young. I've been playing guitar since I was 11 and singing since I was younger than that. But I had visions of being like the next female version of James Taylor.
Right.
Didn't work out that way, but so I did.
It rarely does. I don't think that's a reflection on talent. It's luck.
It's tough.
A lot to
Yeah,
do with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So is that fair to say also for you, Jeff?
No, I'm kind of all over the place. I like everything from Audio Slave hard rock down to Led Zeppelin, King Crimson. I'm all over the place.
So in other words, you and I could just split and form a new prog band.
And then what happened to me?
Prog rock.
I'm
Yeah.
left out.
You have to
I'll
sing.
do my folk.
You'll have to sing material you're not used to. During the first set, I was very interested in the way you guys arrange your own material, or perhaps that's how it was written. But in the song you wrote about your grandfather, for example, you got a fairly standard folk Appalachian chord structure, and then in homage to your ancestry, you go off in this wonderful little Italian finger picking sort of thing. How did that come about?
It had to be in there. I had to represent the two musical styles
Right.
that I think. Well, I know he was exposed to bluegrass, but his original music that he played was the Italian music, and I had to interject that. That was kind of my bridge.
So when you brought the song into the guys, it was already done like that.
Yeah, I got some comments from him. It's like, that doesn't really, I don't know, what did you say? So that's kind of weird in there. But then, I mean, eventually when he heard the whole song, he's like, that works.
No, it
you
works
know. It tells a
wonderfully.
story.
And, I mean, I'm not trying to imply that there is a blueprint or an architectural DNA that every style of music has to have. But I thought the same thing in the next song, which is the one that you wrote based on one of your patients. And the bridge came out of nowhere. I was anticipating, based on the chorus structure, that it would go, and I just thought that was really clever. And how did that come about? Does what I'm saying make any sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. It's hard to explain how they came about. I was writing it in GarageBand because I'm a drummer, so
Right.
I can't sit on the guitar and play a song. So I tinker on the keyboard and I work it through GarageBand. And it just seemed like the next right thing. I wanted to express anger,
Right.
that the big ones weren't taking care of the little ones.
Right.
And how can that be? How can parents not take care of their kids and put them in harm's way? And it just felt like it needed to go someplace that was bigger and a little bit angry. And that's just where the chords went in my head. So
I think that's interesting sometimes when the lesser schooled musicians will bring something into the band, and the guys who have been to conservatory or whatever say, where the hell did that go? You can't do that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you do, and it works a
Yeah.
lot of the time. So I thought that was very cool.
Oh,
So
thank you.
now you guys have a brand new album out. It's called Fresh Hot Soup, SOOP, which is the acronym for Seat of Our Pants. Tell us a little bit about the record.
It's half originals, and it's half music from other musicians. Music that when we started performing out, we did a lot of covers, other people's music, and
Sure.
then we started writing our own, digging up some old songs that we had written years ago, and people that have been following us for the past few years like some of the stuff we've been doing, so we wanted to represent both on there.
I also thought it was interesting in the first set that you guys did an arrangement of another tune by some of your friends, and you mentioned that it was quite a bit different. How did you instinctively make it that way, and what did they think of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, their version wasn't quite as kind of ska-like as we made it.
Yeah.
They're
And,
a lot
uh,
like their music is a lot like Cracker. I mean, that's say that
Yeah,
they're big fans of Cracker, and
Okay.
their music is more in that genre. But I don't know who came up with the ska. but
I
you
love
did.
reggae and ska,
Yeah.
and so when I heard their song, which had a little bit of a calypso kind of
Sure.
sound in it,
Yeah.
bongos, I
Right.
said, "Oh, this would be a great song."
And he
to
loved
do
the
ska.
bass line. He's like, "This is a
Yeah.
great bass line."
That was
So-
a good.
And
that
the
was a
guy
good
who wrote it
walking.
loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time we
Thrilled.
play
I
it,
think he's watching
he
today.
feels so
He kinda-
honored that we're playing his song and that we've made it our own. He's really appreciative.
Oh, I think that's cool. I guess the first time you do it, you always have this apprehension that,
Yeah.
what did you just do to my song, you morons?
he
But,
liked it. He liked
so-
it.
He's come up
All
and
right.
sang with us. And
Now, where can folks pick up the new album?
We're the Higher Grounds Coffee House in East Hampton has some. I believe we're going to sell them at the Marlborough Arts Center
yes, we are.
in Marlborough. We just set up. Jeff just set up on our website. You can go through PayPal, and you wouldn't download it. We would actually mail you a physical CD. So those are 3 places.
And any of our shows, so which
And
are
any
on
of
our
our shows,
website.
yes.
Yeah.
I would order it from your website, but in my history with PayPal, Pay or Pal, whichever one is to hand on the website, reminds me that I can't ever remember my stinking password. So, but what is the website?
It is Seat of Our Pants, one word, .org.
Wow, it's a non-profit-y thing.
So far.
Yeah, yeah. We're
Wow.
also on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, so it's Facebook/Seat of Our Pants.
You know, I played in the era before bands had websites, but I can assure you, even though I played 14 years, it was non-stinking profit every year.
A lot of. There's one venue we're going to play. I'm not saying where, but we're going to play. We're not getting paid, and we're not allowed to put out a tip jar, and we're not allowed to sell our CDs at.
Whee!
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it anyway. It's good exposure.
I say anytime you get a chance to play is probably good,
Yes,
right?
yes.
With black
Never gets-
marketing CDs in the back alley. at that show.
Meet you in the parking garage.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I have someone in a raincoat that looks sinister
Yeah, yeah.
outside. But,
CDs.
so speaking of gigs, not that one, of course, but tell us where everybody can see Seat of Our Pants.
Next Friday, May 23rd, we're playing at the Down to Earth Coffee House in Glastonbury, Connecticut from 6:30 to 9:30. June 12th, we're playing the Marlborough Business Association is having a music festival at Sadler's, a restaurant in Marlborough. We'll be playing at that music festival between 6:30 and 9, I think.
Okay.
Then June 14th, we're playing at the Strawberry Festival in East Hampton Village.
Nice.
June 25th, that's a Wednesday night. We're playing up at Store Center up at Yukon. They've built kind of like a Blueback Square kind of place. I don't know if people know Blueback Square, but it's retail stores, nice restaurants. But we're going to be playing there Wednesday night, June 25th from 5 to 7 outside. And if it's inside, I think they put us in the Co-op, which is right there.
That's fabulous. Now listen, I'm sure you probably explored this, but we have a real fertile little folk coffee house scene here in New London, and we would like to see more of you. So, you know, you don't always have to play in Marlborough, even though they have a bowling alley.
Not
No,
anymore.
that doesn't
Not
happen
anymore.
anymore.
Well, this is our
That
foot
was-
in the door today.
Yeah.
That was
That's why we're
a
here.
little private joke between all of us.
Yes, yes.
So this is Seat of Our Pants. Would you guys do us the honor of playing another short set?
Sure,
Absolutely.
sure.
All right. Thanks very much for being here. This is Live Lunch Break.
Okay. This is a song that Jeff and I wrote for my mother. I'm sure a lot of people who are watching have parents who are aging. Some are lucky and their parents age very gracefully and very well, and some are not so lucky like myself. And over the past 4 years, I've watched my mother slowly deteriorate. She has dementia, and I've watched that disease rob her of her body, her mind, and her spirit. And this song we wrote a couple years ago after a trip that I made down there, and I kept saying to Jeff, I don't recognize her anymore, and that's where this song came out of. When I was young, you were the world to me. You taught me the way life should be. Family and holidays and times by the shore. Now that I'm grown, I find I'm longing for that more. Memories for you at you, I hardly recognize you now. We lost our way as the years moved on. Family bonds were gone. What could you do? Your life was broken in two. I know that you did the best you could do. Memories for you are the hardest to lose. I miss who you were when I was young and confused. The years have been cruel, Mom, you've changed somehow. When I look at you, I hardly recognize you now. If we had a crystal ball to see what our lives were destined to be, would we rewrite the chapters of the stories of our lives to guarantee a final happy page? Now I sit here with your hand in mine, wishing I could turn back the time to the days when we lived as a family once more. Do you remember our lives from before? Memories for you are the hardest to lose. I miss who you were when I was young and confused. The years have been cruel, Mom, you've changed somehow. When I look at you, I hardly recognize you now. When I look at you, I hardly recognize you now. Thank you. Okay, this one's yours.
This one's mine. This is a song I wrote, a compilation of personal experiences and things I hear from my male clients about their frustrations with their wives and
A
their
lot of
unrealistic
material.
expectations. I got a lot of material. So it's about a guy who just can't accept that his gal isn't as excited to be with him as he is to be with her, and he thinks she's looking good, and he just can't figure out why she doesn't feel the same way. It's called "Trying to Make You See." We all come in.
Okay.
I come in, you come in.
Okay,
Yeah, not too
let's
bad.
just start.
Okay.
It's a new one.
I gotta face it that you're not that much into me. You're in a world of your own. You never look me in the eye when I talk to you. We'd rather be on the phone. I'm working out every day trying to make you see, but you don't notice at all. No bedroom eyes with a smile ever beckon me. My pride is taking a fall. And I long for your loving caress and the thrill as you slowly undress. Can it really not matter that my abs I've made flatter and my breath is now so minty fresh? Maybe you don't realize what you really want, a hunger deep in your heart. And with the bliss of my kiss, I'll awaken it, and then the loving can start. A woman's body is her own, and I know it's true. It is a temple divine. I bow and pray at the door to the bottom floor, that I may enter the shrine. And I long for
next song I wrote when I was about 19. I'd gone to a folk festival at Elizabeth Park, and I heard a lot of sea shanties, and I said, I can write one of those. So I went home and I wrote this song and never really did much with it other than sing it for friends and family. And then when we started playing at the coffee house, there was a poet there. He goes by the name Simpedalis, and I got very excited about doing this song for him because he loves words and stories, and I did it, and I went up to him, and he looked at me and said, it ended so abruptly. So after I picked myself up off the floor, I went home, and he actually agreed. So I wrote a final verse. So this song has evolved since I was 19 or so. I added a verse. It was all a cappella, and it was just my voice. It's called The Love of a Sailor. I've added the voice of the sailor. I've added percussion. I've added a droning bass line, and I've added my most recent instrument, the penny whistle. It's called The Love of a Sailor. Right. My name it is Margaret, and my story is old. My true love was a sailor, he was brave and so bold. Oh, I loved him so well, and I know he loved me, until one day when he returned home from the sea. Soon my father asked Margaret, dear, why do you roam? Why do you wander the beaches so sad and alone? Oh, my true love is leaving, it's for him I am grieving. Now you see why I wander, now you see why I roam. Oh, I don't know what happened this time he went to sea, for he left many other times and came home for me. So I asked why he's leaving, for I had to know what was inside his heart, what was making him go. Oh sailor, why do you leave me alone? Have I made you unhappy? Have I made you leave home? Or have you discovered the love of another? Is it her eyes you dream of instead of my own?
Oh, Margaret, I love you and I always will, but I've found another that I love more still. The love that she gives me I never have known, so I sail in the morning mist over the foam.
As we said our farewells on the cliffs by the sea, I said if I couldn't have him, nor could she. He went over the cliffs by the light of the moon, and I watched as he landed in his watery tomb. Oh, my name it is Margaret, such a fool can't you see? For he loved the ocean, but he also loved me. In my rage I was blinded and returned him to be in the arms of his lover, the embrace of the sea. Ooh. Yes, she pushed him over. Stupid. Anyway, we're gonna do one more, and this is a song I wrote for. Jeff gets to play harmonica on this one. I wrote for two of my friends who live in East Hampton, Michelle and Paul. I won't say their last name, but I could. They wouldn't care. I used to work with Michelle, and in meetings she would fall asleep. One night I went to their house for dinner. They invited us over. She said, "Bring your guitar and you play some music." And so we had dinner, and we retired to the den where there was a nice warm fire going, and they had their fuzzy slippers on and a blanket. And I should have known what we were in for. They were out like a light. So I wrote this song about them, and they've been very good sports about it. It's called "Sleeping Disease." About some friends of mine, Michelle and Paul, the nicest folks you want to meet. Summer, winter, spring, or fall, but they got this little problem, might make some folks ill at ease. Well, the doctors diagnosed it as a sleeping disease. We went to the house for dinner one evening 6:30. They said, "Bring your guitar and after dinner play some licks." Well, they served some soup and salad. Then we had some mac and cheese. Well, the music started and they nodded and drifted off to catch some Z's. Paul got married on a cloudless summer day. The party, it was rocking while the couple hit the hay. Aunt Louise, she threw her hands up saying, "This is such a crime. How you gonna make them babies if you're sleeping all the time?" Well, everyone was thrilled. They had a pair of baby boys, and they were always rested, no matter what the noise. Other parents, also tired, begged them, "What's your secret, please?" They said, "Sometimes it's a blessing to have a sleeping disease." Well, the boys are all grown up now. Our friends are on their own, but they don't gather moss. No, they are a rolling stone. Sometimes they come to hear us play, catch some tunes and shoot the breeze. It's great to have some friends so relaxed and feeling fine. It's no wonder they're that way. Hell, they're sleeping all the time. It's a gas to have some friends with a sleeping disease. Thank you.
There you have it. Whether it's briny murder ballads, psychotherapy, Italian at arpeggios in West Virginia coal mines, Seat of Our Pants can bring it all. Thank you guys for being here on Live Lunch Break.
Thank you for having us. Thank you very much.
seatofourpants.org. Look for it. That's all one word. My name is Rick Coster. Next week we have Bergen O'Malley. Keep it on theday.com. And thanks as always to the Telegraph Record Store for having us. And we'll see you next week.